Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Riddick, which is the third film in the Riddick series. It's been quite a long time since we've seen this character on the big screen. The last time was 2004's Chronicles of Riddick, and now we have Riddick. So they got rid of that Chronicles part, they got rid of the S, they put it as its own movie, Chronicle. Good movie, go check it out. And now we have Riddick. So I was looking forward to seeing this film because I love Pitch Black, the first movie, and I guess the trilogy now. And Chronicles of Riddick was not good. It wasn't, but it was actually kind of fun. It was cheesy as all hell. It was stupid. There was just so many dumb costumes, and just Carl Urban looked ridiculous in that movie. And don't worry, he looks pretty ridiculous in this movie too. And I don't know, I just enjoyed that film. It was stupid, but it was fun. So I was looking forward to this film. Hopefully it was going to be more like Pitch Black than more like Chronicles of Riddick, and they've been saying, hey, this movie is going to be way more like Pitch Black. Do not worry. So I was looking forward to it. The trailers themselves, not so great, but I was still looking forward to it. So, did Vin Diesel let me down? Let's find out in the story. Story for Riddick follows Riddick, played by Vin Diesel once again, who is, of course, the space outlaw who can see in the dark that we all know and love. Hey, if you don't like Chronicles of Riddick and you do like Pitch Black, remember, he also had two awesome video games that he was the main character in. Remember that. Remember. And also he has this film, which could be awesome or could be crappy. Who knows? I'll tell you in a second. But anyway, I got way off track. The story here follows Riddick, who is left on an alien planet, a very dangerous one, that doesn't even have a name, by the necromongers from the last film, which I won't even explain what a necromonger is, because this film does not even really explain it. I mean, it kind of does, but it doesn't really matter. The necromongers, he actually rules over. He's the king of them from the last film, but he gets betrayed, he gets left on this alien planet, and he has to pretty much survive. He has to survive the aliens, he has to survive the harsh conditions, but he's Riddick. Come on. He'll survive it, right? Right? So he finds an outpost in about like an hour into the film. He finds an outpost. He calls these he pretty much sends a beacon to all mercenaries. Hey, I know I'm really worth a lot, so come and get me. Come and get me. Put my head in a box. So all these mercenaries come by. He decides to start picking them off one by one like Predator until there's pretty much none of them left. So he can get on one of those ships and leave before the planet becomes way too hostile. So pretty much that's the story. He wants to go and kill all these mercenaries, get on a ship, and leave before all these aliens from this planet start to get a little too crazy, and and he can't even deal with it. So there you go. There's the story. The story sounds extremely simple, and to be honest, it is. But what I really like is that it's separated into three parts. The first part is a survival movie with Riddick trying to survive the harsh terrain and the aliens and whatnot. Then the second part is him being pretty much the Predator and just going after all of the mercenaries, and I thought that was really cool. Then the third part is pretty much a survival horror action film where all the aliens come and, picking off the mercenaries one by one, and Riddick's killing them with his freaking blade and stuff, and it pretty much turns into a survival horror action film, or Pitch Black. It pretty much turns into Pitch Black at the end. And what I really loved about the story is that Riddick is a badass again. Chronicles of Riddick, the movie, turned him into kind of a softie. Not really a softie, but he wasn't, he wasn't as badass as he was in Pitch Black and even the video game. But here they turn him into a badass once again. So many awesome moments where he's just dragging people around or something. He doesn't care. He is not a nice guy. He's just dragging people around, killing them, just saying things that not a typical hero really wouldn't say. He's definitely not a hero. He's more of an anti-hero, but I love that. He is a fantastic character, and Vin Diesel plays him perfectly. I love that dude. It's weird to say this because, like, maybe a couple years ago, I wouldn't say this about Vin Diesel, but now, Vin Diesel is the man. I love that guy. Now, the rest of the acting is pretty good as well. Carl Urban comes back as his character from the last film, Vaco, and he's here for pretty much one scene. He's here for maybe 2 minutes, and that's it. But that 2-minute scene, he's pretty good in. I don't know. Carl Urban, I love that guy. So whenever he's in a film, kind of raises the movie's excitement level for me. I'm like, oh, Carl Urban, oh, he's gone. Well, hey, he sets up the rest of the movie, so good. But yeah, he's great here, I guess. I don't know. The rest of the acting, there's a lot of unknown people here, but there's a couple of pretty good pretty good people here. I really liked Katie Sackhoff. I think I'm saying her name right. I think I got her last name wrong, but she was from Battlestar Galactica, and she's pretty badass in here, actually. Even though I would say she talks a lot of badass lingo. She talks a lot of badass stuff, but a lot of times she doesn't really do much in the film, but she is still pretty badass, and you get to see her naked, so hey, that's cool. I really like Dave Bautista in this, which is very surprising to say because it's Bautista. He used to be a wrestler, and, you know, he's only had one other movie that I know of, that freaking Man with the Iron Fist movie, but he's actually pretty good here. He's actually pretty funny for the most part. He's tough. I like him. You know what? Bautista has some charisma. I don't know. I don't care. I like them. So the rest of the supporting actors do a pretty good job, and also the movie is actually pretty funny. So the actors do a damn good job of actually portraying that comedy without making it seem cheesy or whatnot. Well, sometimes it's cheesy, but it's still kind of funny. So overall, I think the acting is pretty good for the most part. They know what they're in, and you know, Vin Diesel's awesome. That's all you need. He's badass. Vin Diesel's badass as Riddick once again, which is good. So there you go. The acting is really good for the most. Now, this movie is action-packed. It has a lot of action. It has a lot of special effects. It also has a lot of violence. So, was the action, special effects, and even violence good? Well, the action was actually very well done for the most part. This is a $38 million budget, and you really couldn't tell well the special effects and the action going on. It does not seem like a $38 million budget. Hell, I've seen, look, Grown Ups 2. That movie cost $80 million. That was more than double the budget of this film. And that one, what do? They hang out on a bus with friggin' Nick Swartz and Upside Down. That's it. That's all they do. That's their budget for that film. $80 million for that. Here, $38 million, and they do some damn good stuff. They make this planet actually feel, not real, but they make it feel really dangerous and really like hostile. And you're like, oh man, I don't want to screw with the aliens on this planet because they are pretty scary. But they do a damn good job modeling it and make it look real. Some of the special effects look kind of fake. The whole the whole motorcycle scene. There's one scene in the beginning of the movie, well, not the beginning, but like about an hour and 15 minutes in, where you see these motorcycles driving through the desert, and it looks terrible. But then later on, there's a whole really big scene where they're driving through the dark with motorcycles. It actually looks pretty good for the most part. But besides that, the aliens look really good. I think they do look amazing. I mean, sure, they look a little bit, CG-ish, but you know what? You have to take in consideration that it is a $38 million budget. And if you do, then they do look amazing in my opinion. The action is great here. It's very violent, like I said, which the last movie was definitely not. There's a lot of guts, there's a lot of head decapitations, there's a lot of blood, people get cut in half. It's awesome. Very, very bloody. They use practical effects pretty well in this film also. I really liked it. I really did. The action is definitely there. It's really like engaging, especially the part where Riddick is actually just becoming the predator and just stalking these mercenaries. That part was actually really awesome. And that's a good 45 minutes of the film. So if you want to go see a film where Riddick is a badass, complete badass, he's killing people, freaking blood's dropping everywhere, you'll actually laugh a few times, and have a good time with the three-part structure of the film, then you're actually going to have a good-ass time with Riddick. I really enjoyed it. Definitely better than Chronicles of Riddick. It's finally rated R, and it's finally good again. Woo! Hopefully we'll get a new video game now. Wouldn't it have been awesome if this movie became a video game? Starbreeze, get to it, man. So anyway, there you go. There's my review for Riddick. I really enjoyed this film. It's action-packed with great special effects, a lot of blood. Vin Diesel's badass once again as Riddick. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 34 out of 40. Really enjoyed this film. Very good. Thank you, and goodbye.